How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Profordralit and welcome back to another video. Today, guys, we are back with another top 5 video, and today we're going to be counting down the top 5 Johto Pokemon that need to get Mega Evolutions in Generation 8. Now, before we get right into this, guys, I want to just point out two major things. One, this is based on my own opinions, and none of this is confirmed. These are all fan arts, just so you guys know, and you can check out all these fan arts down below, guys. And also, this is just, gotta point this out, this is part 1, okay? So we're going to be doing part 2 if we can hit 200 likes on this video, so do drop a like down below. If we hit 200 likes, I'll be doing a part 2, including more Pokemon, because I thought today I'll be including a bit more of the obscure Pokemon that I think deserve to get Mega Evolutions, specifically from Gen 2. I will do another video on Gen 2 if you guys want me to, because I have a few more Pokemon that I think from Gen 2 should deserve to get Mega Evolutions in Generation 8. So if you want to see that, drop a like down below, and do understand, these are based on my own opinions, and this is an opinion-based video, so if you do not appreciate my opinions, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Which Pokemon do you guys think deserve to get Mega Evolutions? Either way, guys, let's go right into this countdown with number 5. Number 5. So at the 5th place, we have ourselves Lanturn. So first up on the list is going to be Mega Lanturn. As a fan of a Pokemon based on animals, I have to say that Lanturn is one of the cutest Pokemon from Johto, considering what it is based on, being, you know, the lantern fish or whatever, lantern fish or whatever you call it. Being based on that and being so cute is really weird. Now, as far for why Mega should be for this thing, I think it would be really great to have a Mega Evolution, because you'll make it, you know, slightly more viable and competitive. It already is, you know, sort of viable, and it was previously a lot viable, but I don't know about, like, where it currently stands on the tier list. But as far as I know, it is mainly weak against grass and ground, but with a Mega Evolution, you could increase its defense and special defense, and it could eat up some of those ground type and grass type moves, and it could be pretty viable again. Then again, I'm not the best at competitive, so I should really not be the one to tell you about these things, so I mainly talk about the designs here and why I think designs would work for it. Either way, if you actually take this, you know, into consideration that it could work possibly in competitive, I would want to know from you guys, do you guys agree with that? Do you think this could be viable in competitive play? Now, as you look past for that, if you actually look at some cool designs for this thing, I think a design for this that could work Mega Lanturn wise would be this one right here. And I gotta say, first of all, guys, do make sure to check out the designers in the, you know, description down below. But this design has to be some of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like, if you just look at it, it is so freaking cool. It adds this extra, like, little bulb on its belly. It looks adorable, and I gotta say, it is really just nice. I do think we could do something else to it. I think we could add these, like, light, you know, light parts where it's kind of like, you know, it's got these, you know, light bulbs or whatever. We could add more on the body, or even make the whole body kind of with lights on it. I think that could work. But honestly, this design works fine. I gotta give a shout out to the designer. There's gonna be a link down below. You guys can go check out more of the work. But I gotta say, I like this design. I think it could work for Lanturn, and especially if we could make it even more viable competitively, it'd be a perfect Pokemon to actually have a Mega Evolution for in future Generation 8 games. So that's gonna be that one, lads. Let's go to the next one on the list. Number 4. Now, next up is going to be Corsola. Now, yeah, I know. Well, Corsola, in the sense of a Pokemon, it just kind of is a lost and forgotten Pokemon. I feel like it could come through in a great stride if it was to be added into Pokemon, you know, as a Mega Evolution in future games, aka Generation 8, that may be coming. I do think it would be perfect to see a Mega Evolution for it, because considering Corsola is based on coral reefs in the ocean and stuff, I honestly feel like it would be a big thing to add more into this Pokemon and make it look more like that. I would want to see a, you know, a Mega Evolution that takes the aspect of coral reefs and just adds more of that beautiful design to the actual Pokemon and makes a Mega Evolution that fits that, you know, what is based on the concept of Corsola. I think it would be perfect. I would love that, but the thing is, we have yet to see something like that, and I feel like Corsola just as a Pokemon just deserves to get a bit more attention. I do not know about this Pokemon in the competitive sense. I have seen a few people use it. I don't know how, like, viable it actually is. Do you guys think a Mega Evolution would actually make it more useful, and would it be a reason for them to add it? Because you gotta remember, Game Freak gives Mega Evolutions to Pokemon that are popular. They ignore giving Mega Evolutions to Pokemon that are less popular because they know less people will care about it. That's why they give it to, you know, more popular Pokemon. Now, there are a few exceptions of Pokemon that, you know, have got Mega Evolutions but that aren't as popular. That is, of course, you know, it makes sense. But I do think Corsola as a Pokemon, just to give it a bit more of a boost, because honestly, it's such a forgotten Pokemon in general. I do think maybe a Mega Evolution would be awesome, and with the design, that just adds more to it in the sense of having that coral reef kind of concept to it, and the aspect of that more added to it. Now, there is one design here I want to show, which I gotta give shout outs to again. You can check out the designs again down below in the description, lads. I gotta point out that I'm a huge fan of this design here by Locomotive 111. This guy does so many crazy designs, he's just a genius. But I gotta point out that this is not what I imagined, but I think this could also work, adding the little bit of extra moss on the bottom of it, because as you know, in coral reefs and on the ocean, there is a lot of like seaweed and, weeds and stuff like that, and there is, of course, also moss. So adding moss to the bottom of its body would actually make sense, or to the legs, whatever you want to call them. It would make sense, and actually making it a bit more bulky and having these like, pipes coming out that, all the smoky stuff and whatever down in the coral reefs actually comes out through would make sense. And I do feel like, maybe just adding that, or even just adding an aspect where it changes like, its form, because the coral reefs are different. There's different colors to them. Maybe a Corsola being able to switch between different versions of that, I think would be cool. But that's going to be it for Corsola. Let's go to the next one on the list, everybody. Number 3. Now, next up is going to be Octillery. Now, Octillery, honestly, just first thing I gotta ask with Octillery is, how does a Remoraid evolve into an octopus? Like, I just don't understand how the hell they thought about that when they made it back in the day. It really is confusing. But I do think if they can make a fish into an octopus, I do think they can make like, just generally here, Octillery into like a Cthulhu type of reference, or just its Mega Evolution turning, into a more Cthulhu-styled Pokemon. I think that could work. I'm a huge fan of like, mythology and stuff like that, and Cthulhu is not really mythological, but it's a creation from people's minds and whatnot. People who created this thing, I can't remember the exact creator of Cthulhu and that thing, but my point is, it'd be pretty cool to see if they could like take the concept of Cthulhu and plaster it on top of Octillery as a Mega Evolution. I think that'd be really cool. It could actually really work in a sense, because I mean, think about it, Remoraid turns into Octillery. It wouldn't be too far-fetched. See the pun there? It wouldn't be too far-fetched if they actually decided to make, Octillery into a Cthulhu reference or Mega Evolution like that. I think that would work. Now, as for Pokemon itself, I think this could also boost it, in the sense of competitive, because it's a very far down on the list, the tier list. It's very far down there, lads. So actually, giving it a Mega Evolution, maybe you could see a competitively viable Octillery. Maybe it could actually make sense. Maybe it could actually work. I don't know. I want to know your opinions, of course, as usual, in the comment section down below. So let me know, what do you guys think? Would it design based on Cthulhu work? And also, would it work if this Pokemon was to, get a bit more viable and competitive? Would it work for it? Is it a Pokemon that could work competitively? Or is it just too far gone to actually work in that scene? Let me know in the comment section, lads. Let's go to the next one on the list. Number 2. Now, next up on the list, guys, is going to be Xatu. Now, Xatu is just a must-have on this list. Xatu lands on the tier list higher than most of the other Pokemon on this list, as far as we counted down so far. It's probably the one highest up there, and it would honestly be perfect to have as a Mega. I mean, it could just be the perfect Pokemon to just have. It could work perfectly competitive. It would go higher up on the tier list. It will just get a huge jump, and honestly, I feel like it would fit in so well in a higher tier. I like design-wise, I think it would be awesome to just have a new Xatu that looks awesome, and a design like the one on the screen right here, guys, I think could work like just phenomenally, honestly. Just phenomenally, I think it would work, because just look at this. The design is perfect, making Xatu into just this like chieftain type looking Pokemon. Like it's like a old, wise like master or something like that. I don't even know if that's a good reference, but my point is, we could make it with this design right here. I think it could work perfectly, and it would work, honestly. I don't know why we have yet to get this, but I feel like it could definitely work. We have yet to get it, but doesn't mean that it's the end of the line. We still could have something like this happen. We could still see this happen. Do we think it's gonna happen? Probably not, considering the way Pokemon works, and maybe the interest for a Xatu Mega isn't that high, and maybe Xatu just is one of those Pokemon they don't really care much for. But I do think still, though, it could be a Pokemon that deserves to get a Mega Evolution. Just with the way it's designed, the way it fits into just a mythological standpoint, I think it's a Pokemon that deserves to get a spot like that, and deserves to get a Mega Evolution. Either way, let's go to the next one on the list. Number 1. And at the number 1 spot, guys, is going to be Girafarig. And yes, I really want to have this Pokemon on the list, because honestly, like, why would you not want to see a Mega for it? Like, okay, first of all, it is one of the Pokemon that I think has the coolest designs. Like, just look at this thing. Like, think about it. It truly has a perfect design. I mean, also, think of this aspect. This Pokemon is just forgotten. Like, I have not seen anything happen with this Pokemon in ages. It's just one of those Pokemon that's like, it's there, okay? You know what I mean? If I mention it to you, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that Pokemon exists. You know, I remember that Pokemon. Like, that's the way you think about it. Like, it doesn't strike your mind instantly. It's not a Pokemon that's always around. It's pretty low, you know, tier-wise. It's not used much. It's just a forgotten Pokemon in general. And I feel like a Mega Evolution, taking that beautiful aspect of, like, it's literally a giraffe, but where half of its body is brown colored, and its tail has its own mind. Like, it's got its own head, its own mind, it's got a mouth and eyes. Like, it's a freaking insane Pokemon. But imagine it, okay? Just imagine it with a design like this. Okay, this would be insane. Adding something like this and giving it a ghost typing or something like that would be so cool, where, you know, the front of its body is still the giraffe part, where it, you know, just that's what all it is, but then the back of it actually is still connected by through a ghostly type of, you know, ghostly type of thing going on there. I don't really know what you call, like, a ghostly aura is connecting them, and the back of its body is actually moving on its own now, or they move in unison or whatever, and the back of its body is like the evil half of it. So the, you know, you got the good half and the evil half, or whatever you want to call it. It'd be so cool to see a design like this. You know how cool it would actually be, like, if they animated this in 3D and this was in, like, you know, a future game, even something like on the Switch or something like that in the future. I could just imagine it be one of the coolest megas to have. Like, I would think, design-wise, it would be the coolest Mega Evolution ever. I'm not even joking when I say that. I think this would be the coolest Mega ever. It genuinely deserves to be on this list. It's a Pokemon that has just all been lost over time. It's just gone. It's not there. You don't talk much about it. And that's why I want to give it some attention. But ladies and gentlemen, guess what? That's going to be the end of the video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, then make sure to drop a like down below, guys, if you want to see a part 2 to this series, or this video rather, because I'm going to be doing a few more of these videos, and I hope you guys do enjoy them. So of course, make sure to drop a like down below. 200 likes and we'll definitely do a part 2. And of course, subscribe for future videos if you want to see more top 5s like this and countdowns and such. Also live streams and other sorts of Pokemon content. Anything you really want is going to be on this channel if it is Pokemon related. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Ruffled Rowlet, and make sure to remember, this is all based on my own opinion. If you want to drop your own opinion in the comment section down below, please do, and I'll see you all the next time. Bye bye.